Well, I went to the valley where I heard.
What's up, everybody? We are live. It's Tuesday night once again. You're here with the Young Lions, and you're watching Young Lion TV.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and stop fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding.
Yeah.
Young lion,
Huh? What's up?
lion.
Send it to Rach.
What?
AOC.
Yeah, send it to her. What's up, guys? Yeah, so we are here. It's Tuesday night. We're live at True Sound Studios once again. Thank you guys for whoever is tuned in watching. And make sure you share and like this video and send it out to all of your folks so that people will know that it's happening and the algorithm will pick it up and we can get some views. I want to give a shout out to all of the Young Lions that have been supporting from day one and everybody who watches the stream with us every week. We appreciate you guys a lot. I want to give a shout out to all the Jatan fans that have been letting us know that they really like the podcast. They're enjoying the conversations. We're trying to just have some real talks about real things. So if you do want to support and become a Young Lion, become a member and get access to all the great stuff, and it's not even something that like we want to sell you guys, but if you have it to support, you can. It's not something we're trying to pull money from people because we're doing it all independently. We're trying to bring it to you every week no matter what. But if you have it and you want to support what we're doing and you want to help us upgrade in any way, shape, or form, you can do that. You can go to our patreon.com/Young Lion TV and become a member. I think it's only like $5 a month.
$5.
That's nothing. Like you spend that on BS. So
Yes.
you could a little $5 a month, or if you just want to donate anything, and you want to help out with the cause, we could use a couple camera lenses, a couple things. We could use some things. So we could always use some things, but we appreciate you guys either way. Just even clicking on the little thumbs up, clicking on the little heart, and sharing it,
Share
and all
it,
that
please.
means a lot to us, and just watching means a lot to us. So without further ado, let me introduce who we have with us this evening. Of course, we got the original Young Lions. We got my brother, Mr. Jacob Eugene Evans, because I gotta say the full name because he's got the new Facebook, you got the whole
Instagram.
new campaign going right now with the whole
I don't
new.
know if it's a campaign.
I mean, it's not a campaign, but you know what I mean. You got the whole new thing. Yeah, and then after that, of course, rocking the same shirt as me.
Yeah.
Because we try to promote the merch. Show it off a little bit. Show what it looks like. That's my my wonderful nephew, Jake's son. Jacob,
little Jakey.
Jacob the Fourth, even though his middle name is not Eugene, because Jake was being, in his own head about the middle name situation. So you changed it.
I wasn't.
So does that technically?
You didn't like your middle name, and you wanted to change it back.
Does that technically make him the fourth though?
He is the fourth.
If his middle name is different.
Yeah.
He is the fourth because he's still Jake Evans.
Well, I didn't know the
Jacob
technicalities
Evans.
of
He's-
because I don't have a middle name,
He's
yeah.
technically
so I know
before.
nothing about that.
Because you're foreign. A lot of foreigners don't have middle names.
Yes, because I'm Khmer.
Where did the middle name come from? Is that like a
I don't know.
European thing?
I know who can find out.
I'm pretty sure it's the middle name is like a European concept, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
To differentiate
Like,
people.
and then like Catholic folks and stuff, when you get christened and baptized from way back in the day, used to be like you used to get another name added
Right.
on or a different one. So I'm
Yeah.
sure it's tied into all that. But I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'm sure. Something like that. Anyway,
I don't know.
so the man without the middle name, our Cambodian brother from another mother, rocking the merch.
Yes.
That's the Back to Life t-shirt, which you can get right now on Jatan.com. And you can get, we have some other cool t-shirts too. This is Sim Un.
Chang Sam Un.
Chang Sim Un. Yeah. And then last but not least, rocking the cool Darth Vader shirt. What?
I'm sorry. Introduce.
Okay. Doing the production tip as always, helping us out is Miss Rachel Rota.
What's up, guys? What's up? So the middle name looks like in the Middle Ages when Europeans couldn't decide between giving their children a family name or a name of a saint. They eventually settled on naming their children with the given name first and baptismal name second and surname third.
Surname third. Okay, so that's where the elongated names came from. And then, like, I guess the Spaniards kind of like took that to the next level and was like, we're just going to attach every name from the
All
lineage.
the names.
That's why Spanish people be like, when they rattle off their name, it's like a mile long. Yeah. Doing too much.
Yeah.
So what's up, guys?
Nothing much.
What were you about to say?
Now I was gonna say your mom said Jake got the new Facebook page, but he spelled his middle name Eugen
Okay.
on Facebook, not Eugene.
Jake's been having some issues with his new. Jake is so bad with social media. This
So
is
now I'm
gonna
trying
be
to go back.
hilarious. So now you trying to fix it now?
Yeah, but
You can't fix it now. We're on the
Facebook's
podcast.
like,
dude.
no, that's your name now.
Yeah, Facebook is like, too late. Now your name is Eugen forever. And you're all about eugenics. Like, everyone's going to think your page is about eugenics now. We're not listening to you, bro. That's hilarious. Okay.
I didn't even notice that.
What's up, Mom? Thank you for watching, though. Don't worry, we are not talking about you tonight. So I know you're spying right now, and it's all good.
That's why she threw that in there. She had to make.
Yeah, my mom was not happy with us
No.
about our conversation about her on the dating app.
She was gonna hit Jamie with a chancleta.
Please.
Chancleta.
So what's up? How was your guys' weekend?
That was cool.
Anything cool happened since the last podcast that you want to talk about? The Michigan trip was cool.
Michigan trip was awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody is so nice, yo.
We went to like the western coast of Michigan, like right on the lake, and
But we flew all the way on the eastern side.
yeah, to Detroit, a 3-hour drive.
3-hour drive.
Yeah, and everyone there was extremely nice,
Dude, everybody that we met, like everybody we had an encounter with,
Yeah.
they were like,
They were
nice.
so hospitable. Like, they loved having people there. It was like this small, like, you could tell it used to be like a port or something. It was like this cool town where a lot of the factories closed down. They turned them into like hotels or apartment buildings and stuff like that. But it's just like the vibe there. Everyone is in a good mood. Everyone is real hospitable. The celebration that we did, it was like the 150th celebration. So like, they've been doing this for like 150 years, and it's like they do this big music show every year, and it was cool, man. It was cool to see like that type of energy,
Yeah.
you know, in the Midwest, and
Yeah.
you know, because you're always getting these stories about how racist everyone is.
Yeah.
Racist everyone is
Everybody
everywhere
was
you go,
racist.
and it was not racist at all.
Nope.
No one had tiki torches anywhere.
I mean, we travel a lot, and that's the thing. Like,
Even tiki torches.
What about it?
They turned tiki torches into
I know,
racist.
man.
Tiki torches.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious to me.
it's hilarious how Simone cuts me off every.
Oh, I'm
single
sorry, Jake.
time,
I
bro.
really am. I didn't know.
It's cool, but
I
it's
didn't
just-
even know
you're
I
just-
did it this time.
You're just oblivious to it, so I gotta point it out. It's like,
Yeah,
Maybe it's because you talk so quiet and no one can tell that you didn't say anything.
no, I think that's just because that's how he is.
But what were you about to say?
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
We travel a lot
Nah.
and we don't see racism when we travel.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're gonna see whatever you're trying to look for, but
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not like we're looking for it. But
Right, but it's not like if you were to watch, you know, if you were on Twitter, if Twitter was real life, I
Oh
say this to
my
people
goodness.
all the time. Like, if Twitter was real life, or if like what you see on mainstream news was real life, you would think that everywhere you go, it's just like
Yeah.
white people bashing people over the head with,
Yeah.
you know, and
It'll make you fearful, man.
and they're
Like,
ripping babies out of people's arms.
Right.
And yeah, it's like
we just went to the islands, and Steve said that
Yeah.
somebody that he knew, you're going to Grenada? They hate us there.
Yeah. And when he said that to me, I was like, where did she get that from?
Yeah.
Like, who told her that? And it's funny, like, how someone who's never been somewhere assumes that they're an expert on it now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's like,
And when you look it up, Grenada is one of the safest places. in the
Safest
Caribbean.
islands.
yeah. And the people
Yeah.
were super, super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like,
Our driver took us to his house.
yeah, and didn't have to do that. Took us
Yeah.
to his house,
Cooked for us.
cooked for us, and then came to the hotel with
More
food later.
Yeah.
And fed everybody in the band. Like, didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But yeah, Michigan was cool. The funny thing to me though was how like they were so souped about the food they were bringing us. This was the hilarious thing. Rage, they when we first got there, they were like, the drivers were like, and they were super nice. So don't take this the wrong way. It was just funny. It was just funny because, you know, when you've been a lot of places and you see like certain people's level of expectation on things, and so when we got there, the driver was like, "Oh yeah, they got lunch waiting for you guys. It's a big taco spread. You're gonna be so happy with that." And we're like, "Cool."
Well, he didn't say tacos. He said Mexican.
No, he said
tacos.
tacos.
To
Yeah.
me. He said Mexican, and he said they got tacos.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's what made it sound a little better because he said Mexican.
Yeah. Yeah, so but I just from the vibe, like I already kind of knew what it was going to be.
Right.
So when we pulled up and we go there, and it was like it was literally like the tacos that they have at like like a cafeteria somewhere. Like,
Pretty.
yeah.
Well, you gotta, you know, hey, I can say this because I got adopted into a white family.
What?
They cook pretty bland.
I mean, we did too.
But it wasn't even the blandness to me. You know what I mean? It was the whole like. So it's like if we went somewhere, right?
This was in Michigan?
Yeah.
Michigan, yeah.
So like when we go places or like, you know, like sometimes we'll do casinos out in like West Bumblefuck somewhere, and they'll be like, we have, it's Chinese night, right?
Yeah.
And like,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? It's not about how well it's seasoned. It's about just the grade of
yeah.
everything. Like it's like they got the wrong rice, they got the wrong
No, I
kind of,
feel
you know
you.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
I feel you.
everything is just like some certain idea of what Chinese food is,
Yeah.
but totally just wrong.
It was their idea.
Yeah,
of
it was
Mexican.
like, you know, it was like I feel like the taco shells were like the hard shells from like the old El Paso
They were.
boxes.
They
Yeah.
were the.
the ones with the flat bottom. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
They got it from Walmart, man. There's Walmart.
Yeah, and
the
then like
ones that you can fit more in.
right. And then they had like some generic ground beef with like this orange cheese sauce next to it. You know what I mean? The bright orange.
Oh, worse cheese sauce. I didn't eat any of that.
But they meant well, and
Yeah.
they were awesome people.
yeah, they're very nice.
And we ate it because we appreciated them. We weren't going to be rude, you know what I mean, and be snobby. But it was just, we were
food snobs.
we were laughing internally because it was like that's exactly what I expected it to be, you know.
Externally too, because we were talking about.
Yeah, amongst ourselves. But and then when we got back that night before the show, they had the dinner out there. And
To me, the dinner was worse.
the dinner was worse. They were like, the dinner's gonna be barbecue. We're like, great.
all it was barbecue breast, right? So you could tell. You ever see breast that's just like cooked in water or cooked in how it gets like this weird wavy thing over top of the breast? That's what it was. So they literally just put the breast in the barbecue sauce and
Yeah.
just cooked it in the sternal.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is that I broke my fork, my plastic fork,
Trying
eat
to stab the
trying to
chicken
stab-
breast.
eat
Yeah.
the breast. So, but
Yeah.
you know, it
They
was
didn't
free
quit.
food.
There was no seasoning.
Yeah.
It was just breast,
Yeah,
barbecue sauce,
Yeah.
cook.
but I appreciate.
But
the
it
free
was a
meal. I
great,
didn't have to
it was a
spend
great,
no money.
It was a great show.
You know,
It was
a lot of people came.
there was
out.
a lot of beer in the trailer.
Yeah.
that we took
they
back.
had some nice air conditioned
You
RVs
guys
for
took
us.
forever.
You know why we took forever though? because we were talking to the nice people.
Exactly. We were chatting with them.
Okay.
Because that's how we
give you
found
that.
out that it was like a huge festival, and they had who did they have?
Brett Michaels,
Brett Michaels. What's the band?
Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas.
Yeah. Like they have some pretty big people coming through there.
And that was the only R&B night.
Yeah, that was the R&B night.
Freddie Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it was on Thursday.
Yeah.
It's on a Thursday, but it was still a good crowd though.
No, it was.
Yeah.
No, but I only know because I had strep throat, so
Yeah.
Oh, Jake was. I wasn't even in
you
the
guys
room.
need to come on, man.
I wasn't in the room because I didn't want to bother you because you were like so tired and
I
you
didn't,
wanted to
dude.
sleep.
As long
and
as
stuff.
I'm in the bed, I don't care.
Plus, I was,
Somebody's phone's not on silent.
mine is
Jake again.
every week. There's somebody.
Turn the volume down, and I didn't put it on silent. It's
Yeah.
either or.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a good trip.
It was
Got-
awesome trip.
Why was the plane so cold?
Yo, that was the coldest plane ride ever.
Dude, that was the worst for me. Like, because we had to. What time did we? So we had to drive from. What's the place called? I don't want to mess the name
Muskegon.
up. Muskegon.
Yeah.
So we had to drive from Muskegon to Detroit to then fly home, and that's like 3 hours just to drive.
Yeah.
So it was pretty bad, and I had strep throat, and it was like the worst time. Like it was when it was the worst. I was getting body chills, and what else? Headache,
Yeah.
earaches,
Mhm.
all kinds of crazy stuff. So when we were on the plane, dude, I had my hoodie on, and I was knocked out.
Yeah. I don't know. For
But
me,
you guys didn't
I
really
was,
have
I was
hoodies, right?
tortured. I brought an extra shirt with me, but
I had this like jacket thing, but I was fine on the plane going.
That's
That
that
because it
plane
wasn't
going
as
back
cold.
home was freezing. Like it was
Yeah,
out of
it was-
control, man.
Too cold.
Yeah.
I was like this the whole time. Couldn't sleep. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, and you never know. Like sometimes you get a plane, it's warm. Sometimes you get a plane, it's cool, and then a cold plane.
But that was
Yeah.
probably the worst though.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens this week.
Yeah. Going to Atlanta this weekend.
Atlanta.
Looking forward to that. Is this the all white party?
I think so.
No,
I think
that's in August. But we do have to wear white. This is
We're
another
wearing-
outdoor
we're
festival.
wearing white a lot.
Yeah, this is outdoor.
I think it is. This week is Maze, right?
No, this week's Peebo.
Peebo.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not sure. Everything just meshes.
Yeah. So, anyway, now we're back.
Tell me about this Black Mirror episode
The Black Mirror episode.
that I couldn't hear about until the podcast started.
She was waiting for that chance.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I finally got around to watch. I'm a huge Black Mirror fan. So, like, all of the other seasons, very interesting. Like, the storylines are very, like, creative, all about tech and stuff like that. And I'm into tech. So, the concepts are always, like, if you haven't seen Black Mirror, the concepts are always very interesting because it speaks on our addictions to technology and where that's going to lead us as a society, as people. You know, that's why the show is called Black Mirror, because it's referencing the phone, the screens, TV, all that stuff. But this, I don't know, this first episode of this season kind of threw me off because it was so weird. It was just like they tried to go.
I haven't seen it, but you could spoil it. Like, I don't care about spoilers. I don't know if the rest of the
spoiler
internet
alert,
does,
guys.
but yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. So the concept of the episode was the main character who was the dude that played the main character?
The guy that plays Falcon. Heck is his name? I can't remember his name.
Falcon in
Avengers.
In Avengers,
right? Yeah. And the other dude was he in Black Panther?
I don't think that's the guy from Black Panther.
No, I thought
No.
he was in that. Didn't he play Killmonger's dad?
Is Anthony Mackie
No,
one of the ones we're looking for?
The guy that played Killmonger's dad is the dude from that one show The sensitive show. What's the show that everybody watches?
I don't know. Anyway, so the whole premise of the episode was that
Anthony Mackie. Yeah, you're right.
Him and his like friend, I guess,
College buddy.
yeah, his college buddy, like they're kind of rooming with him and his girlfriend, and they're like it just shows like them having like this love for video games. They used to play like this Street Fighter kind of game together where they would like battle each other, and that was their thing. And you know, then it shoots into the future, and now he's an older guy, probably in his 30s, and he's married to the girl who was there, and they have a kid. But the college friend, he's like in the music business, and he lives in the city, and he's kind of like living the single life, and they're not connected as much anymore. But it's his birthday, so they meet back up, and you know, they kind of reconnect, and he gives him this new game for his birthday as his birthday gift. It's kind of like this new technology where it's like the ultimate VR, where like you play the game and you're inside the game basically. So like it's like a fighting game. So it's the version of the fighting game that they used to play when they were younger, but it's the new version where like you actually go into the game as a VR thing. And he's kind of like skeptical, like, I don't know, you know, I don't got time for that, I'm older now. But he's like, come on, man, you're gonna love it, whatever. So he finally one night he goes on and he sees that his boy's online, so they play together. And they pick the same characters that they picked when they were younger, which the one guy used to always use the girl, and he used to always use like the karate dude or whatever. So and at first you're like, oh, they're gonna get to fight. It's like, oh, well, let's see where this is going, right? And then it takes like this weird turn where it's like they're fighting each other, and then like all of a sudden the two characters just start like making out in the game. Yeah. And then it was like,
Well, the guy that picked the girl kisses.
yeah, but it was like it wasn't like, it kind of like seemed like he wanted to too, because he's wrestling around with this girl, you know what I mean? But it's really his friend, but it's the girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then it like becomes this weird thing where they start getting addicted to it, and then they start like
They're like
having like an
sex.
affair kind
Yeah.
of like
Within
in
the
the
game.
game.
In the
Like,
game.
but
Acting
it's
like
his
the
boy.
characters.
It's his boy who's being a girl in the game, who's like, but the game allows them to have sex, you know.
What?
Yeah.
To me, it's like, you know,
I don't even
tapping
wanna talk
into that
about this no more.
gender stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I
it was.
mean?
It seemed like they were trying to push into that narrative.
Yeah.
but it was just like a weird angle, and it kind of it didn't work for me. It was just kind of like forced, and it seemed just strange. Like
Yeah.
It was. It was one of the worst episodes, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
So rating didn't flesh out as well as it could have
No.
by the end of it.
No.
Yeah.
And then like at the end it's like, because I mean, in a sense it touched on like the concept of porn addiction, I think, which could have been better if they went in that direction. Like the fact that it was his friend being the girl, and like the weird dynamic of like them not knowing if they are gay now, you know what I mean? Like it was like this weird like, is it because we want each other secretly, you know what I mean? And then it's like
Yeah.
them two in real life having this struggle with like, do we really want each other, or is it just the game, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it became like he was withdrawing from his wife, and then he's like not having sex with his wife, and he's obsessed with every night going, you know, which kind of touches on the porn addiction thing,
Yeah,
which
right.
you know would have been a better angle, I feel like. But
Yeah.
so at
they-
what?
Because they met up. Like,
Yeah, but that was the worst part
Yeah.
to me.
And
That
then-
was the
and then
worst.
they were like-
so it happens where like he's like, all right, it's because his wife confronts him like, something's going on, like you got to tell me what's going on, you know, you don't touch me anymore, all this stuff. The whole thing happens when they're out at dinner, and he's like, nothing's happening, and then he feels like he's about to lose his marriage and his family, so he tells his friend like, it's over, I'm not doing this anymore. He puts the game away, and he's done with it. And time passes again, and then his wife ends up inviting the
dude.
friend to his next birthday a year later, And he's like, why would you do that? And she was like, well, you told me y'all don't hang out as much, you know, so I invited him. So then that's when they confront each other in person. And his boy's like telling him, like, you know, it was the best you ever had. Like, this is weird. All this weird stuff.
No.
So he's like, no. So then, like, it comes to a head where he's like, all right, meet me somewhere. Like, they meet in Publix. They meet in person on like some back street somewhere. And he's like, he goes, all right, man, just kiss me, man. He's like, just kiss me. And he's like, no, I'm saying, like, we gotta find out if it's if this is what this is, you know. So then they actually kiss in real life, and then they realize, like, oh, it's nothing there, right?
Yeah.
But they still want to do the game thing.
It was really the friend that's really pushing it.
The friend is really
trying to
pushing
push
it
on him
and trying to remind him that he's obsessed with the girl in the game.
Yeah,
Like, that's who he's really obsessed with.
right.
But
Y'all know that Catfish is huge right now too, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that show and that concept and the whole online dating. Like,
yes,
Catfish is still huge.
yeah, like
But I feel like Catfish has become something else now.
I don't just subscribe or keep up or
Yeah.
really, but like I'm aware and I see the content and things being posted and the jokes. I'm like, okay, we're gonna pay attention to this. People are catfishing other people. It's a thing. So it's still very much a thing. So maybe
Yeah.
kind of addressing sort of that as well. Like,
Maybe I can see that, like, your avatar,
hiding behind
like,
the screen,
hiding behind your
you know?
avatar. But it's like he knows who's behind the avatar.
Right.
It's your buddy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was the weird thing to me about it. And then, like, there was really no, like, the conclusion at the end of the episode was like, okay, well, his wife.
He
tells his wife what happened,
everything,
because they get into this big fight, and he gets this is what happened. So, like, after they kiss and they realize there's nothing there, he tries to tell him, all right, so it's done then, we're done with this. And then he's like, no, we're not, you know, you're in love with the girl or whatever, blah blah blah. So then they get into a fight for real, and then the cops come and arrest him. They go to jail, and now his wife's got to pick him up from jail, and she's like, you need to tell me what happened. So he tells her everything, and then the episode ends with, like, his next birthday. I guess they work out some deal where once a year or once in a while he gets to like go in the game and do it with his character.
So
Where,
weird.
Like, it was so weird. Like,
but then she gets
she went to the
something
bar.
too.
Yeah,
So
they both get to
somebody else.
So it's like
It's
another.
hard to even listen to.
It's like another.
Yeah, I know. It was hard to watch it, dude.
Totally, like, degrading marriage. You know what I mean? Like, marriage, like the sanctity of marriage. Like,
Yeah.
because at the end it's like, all right, well, we both turn in our rings for this one day. You go to the bar and find some other penis, and I'll go into this video game and sleep with this Asian white looking chick.
Yeah.
That's you know what I mean? Like, it
was
was
really a man.
right. Who's really a man? Who's really my boy? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Pretending to be a woman, like,
Crazy.
It was just out there, man. It was an out there episode. It was very
Yvette is
weird.
like, what the hell? I came in at the wrong time.
Yeah.
We're talking about the first episode of season 5.
Season 4, I think, of Black
it 4?
Mirror. Yeah.
Season 4.
I don't know, maybe
Black
4 or
Mirror.
5. The new season of Black Mirror. We're talking about the first episode and just how weird it was,
Weird.
and just like,
I'm not a fan of that episode at all.
yeah,
Hope the rest are not like that.
I saw the second one Jamie was talking about.
yeah. The second one was
That-
touching more on the obsession with, like, Facebook and social media
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. And it was kind of like there was the dude from that '70s show plays like a Mark Zuckerberg kind of character
Okay.
figure, and there's another dude who's like he's like a Uber driver, like that version of an Uber driver, and it goes through this whole storyline of him, like, trying to reconcile a situation. I think he got into a car accident,
yeah.
and killed his fiance because he was checking a notification that came up on his phone. You know what I mean? And so,
On
like,
that Facebook app or
yeah,
whatever.
But they had a different name for it. It was called Smithereen.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, Smithereen was the Facebook of that universe or whatever. So it was a little bit better. You know, it was like that one was a better episode. But
Yeah. It's funny how I didn't. That didn't seem like a Black Mirror episode to me. That's why I couldn't remember like if I watched the second episode or not.
That one reminded me more of a season 1 episode of Black Mirror.
Right. Yeah.
Like that, the way that one was filmed, it was all in England.
Yeah.
But yeah, that first episode, like I said, it kind of touched on the porn addiction thing, you know, which is a huge issue. And I think if it went more in that direction and showed how that can ruin their marriage, it can, you know, because a lot of these young kids are not having sex anymore, they're not getting married, they're not having kids, and there's erectile dysfunction is out of control now because of porn. So many people are addicted to it, and they don't realize what it's doing to you mentally, physically, and
So
spiritually.
why do you think that happens?
Why does that happen?
Yeah,
Because
like
it's
what
I think
erectile dysfunction.
because you become so desensitized, like what you're seeing, like your brain, you're reprogramming your brain to be aroused by what you see on the screen. You know what I mean? And what you're seeing on the screen is not,
Not
real
real
life.
life, yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you're in
so
a real
you're
life
so-
situation,
You're so programmed to that what's going on that when you get into a real life situation, it's
there's-
weird.
Yeah, it's not only is it not weird, not only is it weird, it doesn't arouse you.
But
know what I
I'm
mean?
saying it's weird. That's why it doesn't arouse you.
It may not be weird. I wouldn't say it's weird. Like it's
Different.
Just,
It's not-
It's
it's-
just not what you've been trained to. You know.
Not porn.
Yeah.
So-
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's different. It's
So if you've been from the time you're 11, 12, 13 years old, you know, just going in all the time with your, you know, whatever you can find on the internet, when you're you're not the amount of thousands of times that you do that compared to the, you know, few times you're in real life situation with a woman, your brain is now more programmed to the one thing. You know what I'm saying? So like physically you reprogrammed yourself. You know what I mean? And I think I mean there's definitely a spiritual aspect to all of that, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The way you give yourself over to that. And I think there's a reason why there's so much access to free porn everywhere, because it's been used a lot to you know, emasculate men.
I mean, even in terms of like just taking time out of your day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can become consumed with it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's definitely something that I think people don't realize the pitfalls that are there. You know what I mean? They don't realize the amount of damage you're doing when you just constantly getting involved with porn all the time, you know?
yeah, there's so many things we get desensitized to, and it just becomes like a joke, and then people just take it for like nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Or take it like a joke. Like how many times people like you see it on movies over and over again. Like you joke about porn,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like it's just a normal thing.
Right.
I gotta have my porn,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it just becomes this normal thing, and yeah, it's not a good thing. And it's not a good thing because it's bad. You shouldn't watch it.
Right.
It's not a good thing because it depraves you. As a man.
It's not about a prudish thing. It's
Yeah.
not about like, oh, this is wrong because it's No, it's about what it's doing to you. It's having an effect on you.
It's controlling you.
Yeah, it is, and it's damaging your relationships. It's something that I think a lot of men don't really want to face. You know what I mean, or conquer. They just feel like, you know, oh, I just need to do it to, you know, just to pass the time, and then that's it. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's so much more damaging than that. there's been a lot of studies done on like teenagers. What were you gonna say, Rach?
I was gonna say I've heard several people say that like that's what keeps their relationship together. Mm-hmm. They're like, no, like if you take that away, all kinds of problems will ensue. Basically, like so if two people are in a partnership and either one is relying on that and the other person is like, hey, what's going on there? Like, you're wrong because that's just stupid. That's what actually keeps your relationship together. I was like, oh, really? Okay, good to know.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like even on the romance side, you know, like, oh, you got to go on a date and you got to wine and dine your wife.
Yeah.
All these little things that people have come to say, you have to do this, you know. And if you don't do it, it kind of breaks your relationship. You take the romance out of your relationship. But even the perspective of like that being romance, you know what I mean?
Right.
Something you can have romance in a different way, but that becomes the norm, you know, just like porn becomes.
But all of that is programming. All of that,
That's my
all
point.
of that is just like programmed thought that like, in order for me to be happy, I need to be wined and dined, or like for someone to say like, in order for me to be happy in my relationship, I gotta have porn. Like, okay, so there's something lacking in the relationship to begin with. Then,
Yeah,
like
that's the point.
you're totally missing the point of what the relationship is supposed to be.
And I think a lot of times, like, it's not like you're in that relationship and you're like, what are the ingredients to make this relationship work?
Right.
Communication and porn, right? Like,
Right.
but no one goes into it like
Right.
that. Usually you have habits or you have things that you do,
Right.
and then you bring that to the table
Yeah.
and say, this is what works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when was the last time you reevaluated that?
Yeah.
Because you might not be with the same person that you were at, or you might not necessarily have to do the same things that you did before when you were lacking or not full or
Right.
looking like, what are you looking for? I think is the main thing. What
Yeah.
are you looking for? Pinpoint that and then try and make it happen, but don't just say, this is what I need without really thinking about it.
Yeah.
And going back to that episode, like the guy, for that to happen, that was already there.
Right.
You know, the way those things were already there, it just took the right circumstances.
Well, they kind of touched on that, which was, you know, kind of there because the scene, the first scene where it flashes to him older now at his birthday party, you see him checking out one of the other women at the party, right?
Right.
And he was like looking at her a little bit, and she was
Because
like
she was
bent
bending
over,
down.
and some of her butt crack was showing, and he was kind of like staring a little bit and got caught, you know. So it was kind of showing that there was something there. He was like, he something about him was bored, you know what I mean, and there was something lacking in him that allowed him to, you know, get caught up in that situation.
Yeah, and
You
people always use those excuses to be like, well, you know, in a marriage, like, you weren't satisfying me or you
Right.
weren't paying me attention.
Right.
Just a bunch of stuff, and they don't take ownership of anything. And then
Absolutely.
they go into, and it can't, not even that, like, whatever. You get bored and you start, well, let me start trying to dabble in this or
Right.
that. Like, and then, I was bored one night, so I went and had sex with a man. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
just, and
It's pretty
people
extreme.
have said that. You know what I mean? It's not like it's just off the wall. Like, this
Yeah.
stuff happens.
It's true.
But it was there to begin with. It's
Right.
not like it just magically came about, you know.
Right.
And it happens through conditioning. It happens through what you're you're opening yourself up to little by little by little, you know, over a period of time until it's like an inch, you know, an inches,
Right.
little by little, and then eventually it has you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say about the studies. Like they were showing that. I've seen these in the past because I have done some research on this, like the effect of porn on teenage boys and even on older men, people our age. But it's the same thing. It's like you start off, you know, just curious when you're young, and then it ends up just being habitual, but then you constantly need to like seek out more and more weird shit, you know what I mean? Because it's like boredom sets in, you know, and so you end up down this rabbit hole, and next thing you know, you're looking at the weirdest stuff that you never thought you would, and now all of a sudden nothing normal so now a real relationship with a woman doesn't even make sense anymore. You know what I mean? And I think that nowadays it's a lot harder it's a way harder game for young guys because it's so accessible. You know what I mean? And if no one's there to teach them, like, yo, this is not good, that's not good. If it's just made, if it's like one of those things where it's taboo, we don't talk about it, or it's just made normal, which a lot of people do make it normal. Oh, it's just porn. You know what I mean?
And I think it's cool and hip and almost norm. It is norm now to, like, you have to try new things. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be open.
Well, I mean, it's even worse now. It's first of all, the fact that you said hip is like hip.
Well, hipsters.
It just makes you sound old.
No, I'm just
It's cool and hip, you know. But no, like it's actually like, I've seen people tweet about this and people talk about this. Like, if you're afraid to have an experience with like a transgender male or something, like, then something's wrong with you. Then you're a phobic, or you're some type of phobe. You know what I mean? Or if you're afraid to experiment in that way.
Tweet this?
Of course, yeah. Talk about it, tweet it. Like, if you're afraid to experiment with that, then that means there's something wrong with you. So it's not only that it's hip now, it's like you're made to feel like I have to do this, or else
you're made to feel like
I'm a bigot or something. You know what I mean?
Unworthy.
Yeah.
You're not a good person.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. It's like that. Remember when Genuine was on that TV show? Did you ever? You know who Genuine is? So did you hear about that when he was on that TV show? See if you can find a clip of that. That'd be a fun
Yeah, I actually
funny
saw a
thing to
clip.
watch.
Yeah.
When he was on, I think it was Big Brother, right? He was on some celebrity reality show where
I don't know
a transgender male, a transgender female, tried to kiss him, and because he like didn't want to do it, they were calling him a transphobe. Yeah. See if you can find that.
Or how about he just don't want to kiss
That's what I'm saying,
person
like,
that used to be a man?
How about he don't want to kiss someone he don't like or
Yeah.
don't know?
Yeah,
Like, the fact,
exactly.
like, why does it have to be some type of phobia? It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know you, I don't want to kiss you. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But I think that's where it starts. It starts with like curiosity, you know,
Right.
and then it turns into I'm banging you over the head with this now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so you get like these books like what's the guy's name? Paulo Cuevo, is that? Or Coelho, whatever that. Alchemist. The Alchemist.
I don't know.
Never heard of The Alchemist?
I have heard of The Alchemist, but
Okay,
I don't
well-
know who the dude's name is.
Yeah, I think it's Paulo Coelho or something like
I'm
that.
terrible with names.
But anyway, yeah, and that whole book is about going on a journey, but it's about entering into new experiences. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a lot of people go on like backpacking trips. They go to Europe or some other place because they want to experience the world, you know?
Yeah.
And or even going to Africa or anywhere, and then you just open yourself up to everything. You just open to everything, to experience anything.
Mm-hmm.
And little by little, it affects you in a horrible way, you know. But that's the start of it. It's like this journey you have to go on, and then when I've experienced things, so now I have some say. I can say things now because I've experienced things.
Right.
But you've experienced them in a horrible way, where you've let life dictate to you in every situation the way it should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just taking it all
Just
in.
take it in. No restrictions, no filters.
No.
What's Don talking about?
He said he thinks it was because he was kissing other females that he didn't know. Even if he was, like, he could kiss, if he wants to kiss the other females, he could kiss the other females. Like, you can't say just because he didn't kiss the man that makes him transphobic. You know what I mean? Like, he like, some people.
That's just how he wants to live.
Right. Like that, I don't understand that argument. If a gay man if a woman is trying to kiss a gay man, he's totally disgusted by a woman, and she's forcefully trying to kiss him. You know,
If one woman,
if a man's trying to kiss a woman,
Yeah.
and she don't like,
or if a woman, he kisses one woman and another woman comes up to him,
yeah,
and then he doesn't want to kiss her, what's she gonna say? Oh, it's because I'm white, or it's because I'm fat, or you could say a million things.
Because you're racist.
yeah.
Yeah, that comedian was hilarious.
Yeah,
But
everything is about being
everything-
racist.
Here, I think I got it, Rach. Oh, you found it? Yeah, I think this is it.
But why didn't you come to me?
In my mind, I didn't do anything because at that point, I'm like I said, like I didn't even think about nothing like that. I thought you knew I was playing. We didn't.
No, I know that you weren't. I knew that you were playing, but
all kind of stuff. And
that
I'm like,
one.
When you said that, I was like, what? That? That's why I thought it was.
Is this the clip we're looking for?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see.
Was that the person or?
Donnie said he agrees with you. Thanks for watching, Don.
What's up, Donnie? How you doing, brother? Long time no see, man. I think I got it right here, Rach. I'm gonna send it to you, so we can.
So tomorrow is Ariana's birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Ariana. Ariana's been a long time supporter of Jatan. She's always showing us love. I met Ariana. I think I was the one that actually met her initially. I don't know if y'all were there, but I remember the day. It was in the Hamilton Mall.
You know, I
selling
don't
CDs.
remember.
Upstairs.
Nope, downstairs.
Oh, that was another time.
But I remember specifically because this Mexican dude was trying to fight me. Oh, you were there, I think.
Was I?
I think you were. Like I was trying to sell a CD to this lady's walking by trying to sell her CD, and she's listening to the music, and this little short Mexican dude just comes up behind me and pushes me. And so I grabbed the dude by his neck, like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then she's like said something to him in Spanish about like, oh no. I guess he thought I was trying to talk to his girl or something.
Yeah.
And
Why don't I remember this?
yeah, it was crazy.
I don't remember things.
But yeah, I'll never forget that day. That was the day I met Ariana and sold her and her friend a CD, and she's been supporting ever since. Why can't I find this? Oh, there it is. I think that's the one. I just posted it. See if that'll play. But yeah, anyway, we're talking about like what were we talking about? Totally forgot now.
We're talking about getting in too deep, you know, and basically, if you think everything's okay and you accept anything, then eventually you're gonna die.
Damn.
I mean,
Damn.
that's the culmination of it all.
Right.
Like, come on, man.
It leads to death.
That's what happened. Like, okay, there was a bunch of examples of how people were like, I'm going to prove to the world that people in the world are really good, you know? And there was a bunch of examples where people,
or evil is a falsity. Evil
Yeah.
doesn't really exist,
And it's all
I'm
in
gonna
our
travel the
mind.
world. I'm gonna bike across the world and prove that everyone is good. There's good people everywhere, and most of these people end up dead.
yes,
Yeah,
because they went to countries and found out the hard way.
yeah.
Thank you.
And that's the
So
point.
it's not
like,
playing.
And then I believe it's your choice too. Like I would choose not to. Like that doesn't make me like
But you
scared.
would go out with another woman.
Would I go out with
You would,
another
you would,
a
you would,
woman?
you would go out with a
woman?
woman.
Yes, of course.
But you wouldn't go out with a transsexual
No.
woman.
No.
The fact Genuine here, you know, is happy to go with women, but he's
But
not
not
happy.
every woman.
Yeah, but he's
No,
happy
no,
to go
exactly.
with
People-
women,
yeah.
but he's not happy to go. This isn't an attack on you.
go.
I'm just saying he wouldn't feel comfortable going with what is termed, feel comfortable going with me. if you're in my situation and you are trying to date,
Are they all?
there is an
but I won't understand, so
extremely
you're
narrow
saying-
band.
You're saying you're
And
not
from
gay.
my
but
few
you're
of
not
them.
experience,
gay.
I'm not gay, but I've tried to date, and everything that comes
He's
back,
like, you're not gay. Confused.
Is that the music from that?
Yeah, that's coming from the
knowing
the
my
video.
past. But then as soon as they find out, whoa,
Today's
I'm a
world.
woman, right?
Okay.
Forget about any T's or anything in front of it. I'm just a woman, okay? So on that score, you would date me, wouldn't you?
Not if you told me you was
But
No,
you're
I'm
not
telling you
a
I'm
woman.
trans. I'm a
You
woman.
can't have a
You
baby.
would date me then.
You don't have a womb.
Look, so that's where yeah.
Let's have a kid. Go on, let's have a kid.
And that's all he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what it was, and then there was this whole big backlash saying, "Oh, Genuine's transphobic," blah blah blah. But it's like the whole conversation that they're having is what we're talking about. So that's what was the point of showing that is we were talking about the idea now that it's not only that it's trendy to do these things. It's like no, you're a bigot if you don't do these things.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you don't go down that road where it's like. If you wouldn't date a transgender woman because they're transgender, then you're a bigot.
And why is that? Because you have to make them feel comfortable with who they are because
You have to buy into the delusion that they're an actual woman,
so they can be
right?
An
So that they
actual-
can actually feel like
not
they're an
a
actual woman.
Right.
Yeah, well-
Because what are they have to go through a lot of BS, right? They got to date men and then they don't want to tell those men that they're not really a woman because they want to believe that they really are a woman.
Right.
But then when those men find out, they don't want to be with them.
Right. So they deal with a lot of. They have to deal with that
They have to deal with a lot of rejection,
rejection and that awkwardness, that backlash that even comes sometimes. You know.
which is understandable,
Right.
but it's still not true.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you have to face that, but we don't want to face that. Everybody wants to feel comfortable and stay in their place where they're at and then push it on everybody else.
Right. So it's on us now to just totally buy in, or else something's wrong with us.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, stop watching porn, guys. That's the bottom line.
And that's how they rule you.
That's how they rule you, man. They definitely, porn is definitely a tactic, though.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
they use it to like, because think about it, it turns you into a cuck, basically, right? Because you're watching other people have sex and you're like getting off with it, right?
Mhm.
So it totally puts you in that role of being a cuck or being like a voyeur, you know, being a perv, really, you know, with like the barrier of like, well, I'm not actually there, you know what I mean? So, but in a sense, that's what you're doing, and
That's like Black Mirror.
Well, you think
Right,
about
Not
like,
really there.
right,
when you just said being a perv. What does that mean?
perverted.
So
It's a perversion.
something that is a perversion is just something that's been twisted,
right,
you know, from what it's supposed to be.
right.
You know what I mean? So that's what we are. If we're doing these things and it's not natural, well, then we're perverted.
Right.
So we got to go back to the natural way of doing things. You know?
Which is not watching porn.
Right.
Have sex with real people.
Get married first.
Get married.
Preferably.
Get married.
when you're
Have some kids, man.
Yeah.
Have babies.
Have some
Rachel's over there
kids.
cracking up.
Today's quote, "Quit porn, have sex with real people."
right. Yeah, today's quote. We're gonna. That's another T-shirt.
another
T-shirt. Quit porn, have sex with real people. Yo, it's crazy that you even have to
It's
say
crazy
that.
that you have to. That's why people got so into Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because it's like, clean your room. You know, the stuff that the 12 steps
Yeah.
to life or whatever his book was.
Yeah,
And it's like the
12
12
rules.
rules. It's like, dude,
Something simple.
this is obvious stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, everything he says is
But we've gotten to a
obvious.
place where it's not obvious anymore.
And people want to hear the obvious.
Yeah. They need to
That's
be
crazy.
reassured that the obvious is truth.
That is freaking, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, this is basics.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're born, we have a penis, men have penis, or babies. That's a girl, that's a boy. Like, this is natural stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the way it works. I don't.
But Celine Dion wants all babies to wear gray.
But it don't change the natural order of things.
Right.
You know?
Yo, what's up, James? James is watching.
James, Mr. Build Right.
And we and I like there are anomalies. Like some
Yeah, of
people
course.
are born with 6 fingers, and you know, people are born with extra parts or missing parts sometimes.
There are intersex people that are born that way.
Right. But that doesn't make that a thing.
Right.
Like it how come it's not a thing that if I don't have an arm, everybody who was born without an arm
Right.
they get together and becomes their own thing.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't become a thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yo, that would be crazy if that became a thing.
I mean, that's essentially what they want you to buy into, right? It's like I heard people talking about it's like the politician, I forget who it was, which one it was. I think it was Castro. No, it wasn't. I don't remember. Anyway, he was saying that you know, we need to push for